Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to an SP Patrons review today that I'm making for Yida as part of their custom monthly music review. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves a track on the screen. This is from an act named Beyond, titled Without More Bones if the translation is correct. So we're going to listen through this song from start to finish and we're going to hear what we think. Let's go. It is a live performance, so I'm excited for this. I haven't really seen much of live beyond live. Very supportive crowd. Great charisma to the stage presence. Great pep to the groove as well, especially with the shakers. Oh, trading off, nice. The mixing is interesting. I can hear different instruments at different parts of the stereo field, and it does sound a little bit sort of uneven with the frequency response, but that could be on purpose. They can all sing really well. Was this a taken from the disc, I suppose? Very phrasing with bluesy. Is that a Strandberg? That's a Strandberg guitar, so one without the headstock. I think that's really dope. Those are really cool guitars. It's nice to have them all come together at this part with the vocals. I think it's charming. You've had their individual timbres, and just to have the group together shows a great sense of chemistry. Like everyone's having fun, you know? The crowd is absolutely adoring it as well. So there's guitars, bass, drums, keys as well. Now they're playing synth pads. Or synth strings. I mean, it's sensational. I mean, it was just a really enrapturing live performance. They seemed like they were having a great time, and I'm keen to learn more about the lyrics. So we've got lyrics here for this track from Beyond, titled Without More Bones. Thanks to Yida for providing these. When vapidness encounters doubtfulness, ideal make him strange. Oh, okay. I think that we're talking about, though with the faith in hand, fighting spirits will still be suppressed. Who is in charge of my staying to point out the universe in my heart? My bare hands shall say hello to my dream. No one can defeat my faith, not until I die. Is this all about kind of pacifism and not wanting to fight and not having war and everything like that? So that was the case, that would make sense. And welcome to the conclusion of my review of this track from An Accident Beyond, titled Without More Bones. I think that is the name of the track. And what I think this track is about is they're talking about having a dream of not having the battles and not having the death and everything like that. And I think that this interpretation is no one is going to defeat this belief of mine, this wish for like peace and everything like that until I die. It's something I'm going to have forevermore. That's basically, and I think that want for not fighting and not having that violence, especially like now with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, as I say in every one of my outros, you know, it's real, it's tangible. There's a lot of anger and stuff like that out there, and I think that songs like these are really important because it helps to remind us that we're all human and that we really, at our base core, don't really want to be doing this. But it's not in our best interests to just hurt each other like that. That it's okay to not want to fight anymore, to want to just be able to have that peace. I think that's a beautiful concept, and I'm glad that we discussed it within this track. I think that the vocals in this song were very catchy and anthemic. They had a great sense of melody and personality to them that coalesced and was very well paired with the guitars, bass, drums, and keys, synth keys that we had in the background here. Whether it was the one or the two or the third or all three vocalists at once, I think all of them did a spectacular job of coming together to really get the crowd kind of riled up and into their flow of thought. It was very conversational. There wasn't a whole lot of ornamentation or crazy sort of stuff with the passages and all that. I just think ultimately it was just great. It was really great form, and they handled themselves well on stage with great stage presence, and it was a very polished effort. I think ultimately, you know, no complaints whatsoever. You know, that is a hook line that'll get stuck in your head. And I think in addition to that, what we had going on with the track in general was great with the way it was written, structured at just over 4 minutes, that 2 to 4 minute sweet spot. I didn't necessarily mind that. We had several lead passages and in addition to like a focus on the verse, chorus, the hook, that main sort of message being sort of prodded through. I think the crowd was definitely there for it as well. It's good to repeat that important line if you know that the rest of the audience is there with you. So I think that ultimately it was just very, very satisfying to have that experience with really well performed instruments from really competent musicians who wrote a song that not only had great vocals and a great story alongside it, was just all lovingly crafted. I mean, like the acoustic guitars with the chords, the strumming, the rhythmic patterns there, the harmonies were gentle and very welcoming and accessible with that lack of pretension that would have killed the experience. The lead guitar solos were phenomenal. We were well phrased and we had restraint, but at the same time, we knew that we could shred, and there were passages where we really kind of let go and allowed ourselves to flow with the rest of it. And it was just very elegant and very sort of like inspiring to listen to. The bass passages with that constant do just kind of plodded along and created a great kind of ground bed for everything else to sit on. It was all together just, it was very well handled, and I want to hear more bass like that, where it's still subtle, but it still has a driving force that really worked well with the combination of the cymbals on the hi-hat. I think that worked well with the groove of those two. There were lots of different drum patterns in here. We didn't sleep on the percussion. It was great not just to have a reliance on the snare kick and hi-hats, but also to explore the rest of the drum kit and have these different 16-32 fills as well. It was very intriguing because of that, and that variety allowed for a safer composition harmonically and melodically to be more enthralling. The synth keys that we had were well spaced and well phrased, and I have no complaints about that either. Ultimately, like, they served a really great purpose of that mid to high range there, kind of accenting certain parts of the triads that were present, and they soared over top and added a real sense of the 80s charm to it. Overall, I think the track in general was well phrased and well put together. Things just kind of fell into place in a way that was incredibly intoxicating. The theme was one of inspiration and really just tried to get you to be a better person. It was positive and vibrant and full of joy, and the crowd chanting along with them was the icing on the cake. Ultimately, it was enamoring and it was a work of love, and I think this is a phenomenal song with a theme that just really sort of screams how passionate it is. Finally, the studio recording, mixing and mastering. Like, for a live show, this was tremendous. I'm really happy with the way that things were done here. We were very, very clear with the way we wanted to sort of present ourselves, with it being a commercial grade live production. I, at first, wasn't necessarily sure about how it sounded a little bit empty in the low range, but I think it's partially these headphones. Also, I think this I don't know when this was recorded, but it would have been at least like 25 years ago. And I think that I think it's just a really clean mid to high resonance kind of test there. Like, the bass was handled well. I could hear the bass guitar succulently. It's succinctly, should I say, it's more like it was very polished. It was on the verge, I think, of sounding a little bit too sterilized, but they managed to nail the EQing and filtering to an extent where it was still clean. Things are nice and wide in the stereo field. There were some very extreme movements with some of the panning there, which again, like, it was close to being a little bit alienating, but we managed to get there across the line there with the positions of things in the end. No resonant frequencies in the frequency spectrum there. There was dynamic range to this. It wasn't the same loudness all the time, like it was quieter when we were talking at the start towards later on, when things were full bore. And it was nice to allow without pumping. The bus limiting compression was all handled. And I mean, this is effectively my review of this track from an accident and beyond, titled, well, actually, no, it says here, actually, I was commenting on when this was recorded. This was 32 years ago. So, I know that because I was born in 1991. So that's real. It's good quality, man. But this is my review of this track from an accident and beyond, titled Without More Bones, from their 1991 concert. And hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please go show them some love via the various social medias and YouTube page, and stay cool and stay safe. And please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as either help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world. And I'll catch you in the next SP Patrons video. Spiderhands out.